Hey, this is Steven with Poor Decisions presented by Sip Kentucky. So I'm here alone today just because this was kind of a last minute thought based off of a dinner that I had yesterday. So today I've got an old fashioned instead of just straight bourbon. I'm using Green River bourbon. Last night I was at a birthday dinner for my friend and we went to Watch Hill Proper, which is a really awesome bourbon bar restaurant in Louisville. It's just outside of Louisville. It's probably Prospect technically, but from downtown you're looking like a 25-minute drive. They have this awesome bourbon selection, awesome food. We were having an awesome time just hanging out with some friends who all liked bourbon, had various degrees of experience, and it kind of made me think about how I'm still pretty new to the process, bourbon tastings and all of that, and just knowing exactly what I want with my palate. And part of why I still feel like I'm new, even though I've been doing this for a little while, is just there's so much out there. I thought Watch Hill Proper did something that was really cool because they have this book of bourbon, walls and walls, it's just everywhere. But part of what they did that made it more approachable was they had curated flights that they had put together themselves, some with different brands, some with all one brand but different expressions within that brand. So that was one thing that I thought was really cool. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about was a blind tasting that they had. And I can remember when I was first getting into bourbon not knowing where to start, and I really feel like that's such an awesome way to start, is not really knowing what you're gonna get into, what you do and don't like, but just trying it all. So getting together with some friends and everyone brings a different bottle and then you pour a little and you try it. And the way Watch Hill Propers was you had this tasting, I want to say it was 4, it might have been 5, but they didn't tell you what the brand was. They didn't tell you what the proof was. I think they told us that it was, there was 1 rye in the group, but other than that, you were kind of on your own. They talked to the waitress a little bit and she actually let us know that sometimes they do those blind flights with a mix of different brands as well as bourbons and ryes and stuff. So it sounded super cool and interesting. We all had fun at the table trying these and she did tell us that last night's flight was all from 1 brand. So we were all trying to guess which one, and we probably had 8 guesses between all of us, and all of them were wrong. But it was a really cool way to taste it and remove the label, remove that preconceived notion you have about that brand or that type of whiskey even away, or the proof, and just try it and see what you like, see what you don't like. I'll spoil the surprise for you for what it was last night. I'm sure it's not going to be that next time you're there, but it was all New Riff products. Great brand. It was a brand everyone at the table was familiar with, but none of us were able to guess it right. And we all left saying a different one of all the pours for all of us was our favorite, but we all left being like, I should try more of this, I should drink more of that, just because it was kind of a refresher for us to try that. Even though we had experienced that brand before, try it new with like new eyes, and then you'll really see what you do and don't like. And that's kind of what I feel like it is with all these bourbon experiences that you see along the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. So when you're first coming to Kentucky and experiencing these, or if you're a local and it's your first time really getting out to the distilleries, or you want to do it with a new eye, I suggest trying all the different experiences. Try just the tastings, try the tour and the tasting, try the different tours, try the single barrels, try their lower proof products, their cask strength products, their single barrel products, their blends, their small batch. Try a little bit of everything. And then once you've tried probably 6, 8 different experiences, you're gonna start to narrow in the things that you're enjoying the most, and then you can dial that in for your future experiences and use that as your way of like, this is the experience that I like the most. Let me try that at this other distillery that I haven't tried any of their products before. Something like that as a way to kind of dial into what experiences you like most. Some people love hearing the history. Some people love hearing the science and the details and the mash bills and all that. Some people don't really want to hear anything. They just want to see everything. There's some that'll let you touch and smell their grains, or smell some of the flavors you'll get out of their different yeasts. So there's a lot of different experiences, and it kind of reminds me of how Sip Kentucky got started. So part of the founding of the company was just trying to make these awesome and unique experiences that we have in Kentucky more accessible to everyone. So when you think about some of the things that Kentucky's known for, you've got like horse racing and bourbon. And both of those can seem highbrow, which can be overwhelming, where it's like, do I really belong here? Do I fit in here? because I don't know this stuff, and it can be intimidating because of that. The other thing is it can be overwhelming. Like, even if you're going to a thoroughbred farm to learn and see those, there's a ton that you can go and see from. And Visit Horse Country has an awesome website that can like help you pick through those, get the experience you're looking for there. But even if you're not going to go to a farm, you're just wanting to go to races, there's a bunch of different racetracks. You could want to go to Keeneland, you could want to go to Churchill Downs. Those are the two largest here in the state. But when you're there, you still have, maybe you've got a race card that's got 12 races for the day, or 8 races, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different races, and you'll have different lengths. You'll have to learn what a furlong is. You'll have different aged horses. You got to learn about the jockeys, the trainers, everything. Like, if you're gonna try and like make an educated bet on them, which I'm not the one to give you an educated bet on, but it even just being able to read the program and understand what's coming up next for the horses. Like, are they going to pass you once? Are they going to start on the far end and just finish right in front of you? Like, where you should even be looking is relevant. So part of that can feel intimidating. And then when you think about bourbon, there's so many different distilleries to see, and then so many awesome bars and restaurants that'll also have awesome bourbon experiences that you can get there. So it can feel overwhelming to see all of that. So part of the vision for this company was originally to just make it more accessible and approachable to more people. And then once you get past that like introduction phase, when you're looking for a more experienced person who knows what they want, tailoring those their trips and their experiences to be the best level of what they want. So if someone's like, I love the history, we can say, this is where you need to go for history. If someone says, I love weeded bourbon, if someone says, I like really high proof bourbons, whatever that may be, we can help tailor those to be exactly what you're looking for. But the way we learned all that, and the way all of our staff learns all that, is we have to just get out there and try it. So we spend so much time just going out and trying new things and kind of going into it with an open mind. I can think of like, these distilleries are always changing and creating new experiences, but right now there's so many that are doing interesting pairings to kind of accentuate flavors within bourbon when you're doing a tasting. Some of them will have these scent boxes that you can smell. It's a really cool experience. Some of them are tying cigar flavors with bourbon and doing a pairing like that. Some are doing jerky, some are doing chocolate, some are doing different foods where you do like a dried cherry, and then maybe you're doing like a nut, something salty, all these different things. I can think of one in downtown Louisville. It's actually Bardstown Bourbon Company's Louisville tasting room. They are doing a tasting that matches it with cereal. So it's super fun and interesting. And there's a million different ways to taste it. And like, you might not love the cereal experience, or you might. So the best way to do it and try all these things is to just keep an open mind. Don't think about that label that you're seeing up front, and just try a little bit of everything. You might be pleasantly surprised. So that's today's episode. Kind of quick, kind of down and dirty, but I just wanted to share some thoughts that I was having kind of right off the bat after last night. But until we see you again, just keep sipping.